Scaling the walls of the Royal Children's Hospital, Spider-Man and Batman dropped in to help mark a super first year.
Amazing.
Inside, it was time to party. Patients and staff singing and dancing for the new hospital's first birthday. The clown doctors were up to their old tricks, making some of the sickest children smile. Even the Transformers treated the children to a visit.
Really exciting.
In November last year, 143 sick children were moved from the old hospital to the new, with the help of hundreds of staff.
There's more space than the old hospitals, much bigger.
Over the past 12 months, the hospital has seen more than 76,000 children in emergency and has treated 33,000 inpatients. It's performed 14,000 surgeries, including Australia's first paediatric intestinal transplant.
It's been a very busy year, but a year of great achievements.
And it wouldn't be a celebration without a cake.
Happy birthday to you.
The first of many birthdays to come. Holly Little, 10 News.
For snapper fishermen, it's the season of all seasons.
I've been fishing Port Phillip Bay since 1985 for snapper, and I've never seen anything like it.
One of the best years ever.
After successful spawning, tens of thousands of snapper have swum through the heads to breed and feed.
The population of fish that comes into Port Phillip comes from as far away as the Spencer Gulf in South Australia.
The ultra keen have been hitting the water at 4 a.m, silver whiting the bait of choice, and the unusual hours have paid off big time.
10-15 minutes, first one rod buckled over, and yeah, they just kept going for 30 minutes.
A 1 metre monster weighing 11 kilos caught off Frankston.
And in 2004-2005, the snapper had an incredible spawn, so we're now seeing the results. Those fish are now 7-8 years of age.
And it's not just the experts reeling in the big fish. 5-year-old Jet outfished MotoGP star Casey Stoner.
It just took the line out and you just couldn't get it in.
Off the back of the success of banning commercial netting in Western Port, Victoria's peak recreational fishing body, VR Fish, is now rallying the state government to do the same to Port Phillip and ban netting in the bay. But despite the politics, this season is certainly going to be the one that didn't get away. Sean Sowerby, 10 News.
It's the wardrobe we all wish we had.
I was really excited when I walked through the wardrobe and it seems really realistic.
The C.S. Lewis classic magically transformed from real to reality in the Chronicles of Narnia exhibition.
When I first walked in the wardrobe, I thought it was the real place where Narnia was set.
Although there were mythical creatures, captivating catapults and adventurous armoury to be seen, some just couldn't decide what they liked best.
And the ice chair, the dress-ups, everything.
While for others, simply being there was more than just a day out.
Oh, it's a lifelong dream.
One thing was clear, after having sold over 100 million copies worldwide, the inside of this wardrobe won't need a clean out anytime soon. Chanel Valla, 10 News.
3-year-old Marley is used to being the centre of attention, but she's about to have some competition with a new addition to the elephant family imminent.
We're very excited because this is Namoy, our third elephant from Thailand's first baby.
The first-time mother's 22-month pregnancy is in its final stages. Vets now monitoring her around the clock with regular blood tests to check her hormone levels.
When that drops suddenly down to baseline, we know the birth is in 1 to 2 days. And then her labour could be anything up to 3 days long.
The arrival of the zoo's third baby elephant, expected to weigh in around 100 kilograms, is crucial in the fight to save the endangered species.
We have a regional breeding herd and a captive management program within Australia and New Zealand, and this birth will contribute to that captive management program.
It's a program that's proved successful so far, and keepers are confident it will continue. As for this expectant mother, she's passed her health checks so far with flying colours and just the odd craving.
Maybe for more hay. Pineapples.
Mark O'Brien, 10 News.
Concussed one day, buoyant the next. Ben Reid showing no ill effects of last night's head clash with Roo Lindsay Thomas.
Have you got any recollections of the clash yesterday?
Yeah, no, mate, I feel good and it was good to have a win.
The incident sparked a war of words between the coaches, despite Thomas this afternoon being cleared of any wrongdoing.
I thought it was pretty average.
Nathan Buckley should just worry about his own team. You know, commentary like that doesn't help.
It was off the ball and was unprovoked.
Now, if Bucks wants to call me, he can.
While the incident ended Reed's afternoon, he's expected to be fit to face Carlton on Sunday. Thomas played on despite reportedly suffering bruising. Buckley questioning the impact of the clash on Thomas.
Yeah, he stayed down and tried to fake that as well.
With time to reflect, Pies captain Nick Maxwell says his teammates aren't holding a grudge.
Nah, not at all. It's part of the game. We go to war before the start of the siren. First siren goes and the last siren goes, that finishes it. So that's what happens during the game.
Not even the loss of Reed or late withdrawals of Dane Beams and Heath Shaw could stop Collingwood, which held off the fast-finishing Kangaroos by 16 points.
So I was very proud of the boys, the way they went about it, particularly losing a couple of quality guys just before the game. So I think everyone stood up really well.
Up next for the Magpies, a showdown with former coach Mick Malthouse. Henry Peters, 10 News.
Mildura is in the grips of a heatwave. Today it reached 43 degrees, the 5th day in a row above 40.
The sand can get so hot here that people walking across without shoes can actually burn their feet.
With hundreds flocking to the Murray, the only inland surf lifesaving club is on alert.
We've had a couple of snakes here in the last couple of weeks, but we haven't had to evacuate the beach for them. We've just got people away from where the snakes are.
Relief should arrive on Wednesday, with a forecast top of 29 for the border town.
We are in a situation of relative good health, as it were.
But authorities warn tomorrow will be another day of danger.
We note with interest that there is fires north of the Murray River in New South Wales, that if they get to take hold, they could have an impact on the Victorian border.
Resources have been fast to react to grass fires throughout today and overnight. 130 volunteers tackled the Little River fire.
So it was right along the river's edge where the fire burnt to, and there was quite a bit of rock, lots of trees and shrubs, so it made the activity for the firefighters quite awkward to get into the edge of the fire.
Although there was some property damage, no houses were lost. With Tasmania battling a disaster and Victoria on high alert, psychologists warn old wounds from Black Saturday could resurface.
The basic level of people feeling a bit more irritable or sleepless at the moment, whether they find themselves being a bit more anxious and distressed.
Melanie Davies, 10 News.
It might have been chilly on the beach today, but with summer just around the corner, it will soon be the place to be.
We should have a day or two over 40 degrees and quite a couple over 35.
The Bureau's seasonal forecast is predicting heat waves and hotter than average temperatures through to February.
The daytimes are 3 times more likely to be warmer than normal.
And after the recent cool, wet summers, Victorians are already counting down to December.
It would be nice to have a warm summer. I think we have had a few cool ones.
Hot weather and be able to enjoy the beach.
Definitely, but not 40s place.
But not everyone is laughing.
It is a concern for us. We know that when the weather is warmer, people are more likely to be outside, and that's when they get sunburned.
Tennis legends John Newcombe and Tony Roach, who both had skin cancers, are backing a new campaign, urging others to get their moles checked. Newcombe's ordeal 2 years ago saw him undergo extensive facial surgery.
Have regular checks and don't think that you're getting away with it. I've been lucky.
Nationwide, 2 men over 45 die of melanoma every day. Holly Little, 10 News. Sun-loving Victorians are lining up to bravely bare their skin to see for themselves just what damage has been done.
I was quite surprised actually. It had a lot more spots than I thought.
You can't actually get any indication from looking at my face that this is what's hidden underneath.
The UV camera technology on board the photo bus highlights sunspots invisible to the naked eye.
Your score today is 47, so that's just a little bit below average.
The free tests on offer at Federation Square are part of a travelling campaign to prevent sun damage. Ten's own Carrie Bickmore among those getting on board.
But there was damage there?
Yeah, a lot of damage.
Someone is diagnosed with skin cancer almost every minute in Australia, and someone dies every 8 hours.
So we are the gold medalists as far as skin cancer goes.
To help prevent future damage, the federal government has given 50+ sunscreen the green light.
We had all of the testing in place to ensure that they did what they said they were going to do and that they were safe and effective to use.
30+ sunscreen blocks 96.7% of ultraviolet rays. 50+ blocks 98%. But it must be applied properly to better protect your skin.
The key thing, however, is the sunscreen is only as good as the person who applies it.
Consumers can expect to pay a little more for the higher spectrum product. Holly Little, 10 News.
16-month-old Aiden Bianco hadn't slept properly since he was born, but now he's sleeping like a baby. His mother Stacey attributing the turnaround to the Rockabub mobile phone app.
I feel better, I feel alive, getting some sleep, and Aiden's also a lot happier.
Nurses Helen Stevens and Cindy Davenport have crammed their books and DVDs into the NAP app to help under-3s get their rest.
We can see babies having emotions, we can see what their brains do. So we know that they respond really well to being cared for.
The step-by-step guide getting youngsters to sleep all night, encouraging nurturing techniques without the tears.
And those steps are governed by what the baby does. So when the baby's doing a particular thing, you can go to those steps and have a look to see what might be appropriate for your baby.
Parents have often tried a number of things. They've often read lots of books, and there's a lot of confusion around sleep.
The app developer says he's been swamped by medical organisations wanting to get care in the palm of patients' hands.
Predicting in the next 12 to 18 months that when you go visit the doctor, instead of getting a prescription, you'll actually get a prescription for an app as opposed to drugs.
Rockabub creators say it's only been out a week and already it's been downloaded by thousands of sleep-deprived parents. Trent Dan, 10 News.
5-year-old Joel McLean still bears the sizable scars from being run over by the family's ride-on mower.
Looking down and seeing a young fella under the mower, I instantly thought that he was dead.
Dad Daniel didn't spot him when reversing. The young boy's arm almost severed, his knee also a mess.
It's just horrific, screaming in agony and cut open, and his twin to have witnessed it.
Joel is one of a growing number of children critically injured by the machinery.
In fact, a lot of the injuries we've seen are actually young children, 4 or 5-year-olds who have been backed over by their parents.
Now, after 3 major surgeries in almost 18 months, the McLeans want to warn others.
You don't think it's going to happen to you, and then it does, and you sort of look back on it and go, how could I even let me kids be outside while the mower is even on?
With ride-on mowers becoming more affordable, injuries involving children have tripled over the past 20 years. Surgeons say the number of accidents like Joel's will continue to rise unless legislation for ride-on mowers is introduced.
So that the safety mechanisms are mandatory and they should be maintained. And maybe there's a place for keeping children away from the paddock.
Most injuries occur between October and December. Holly Little, 10 News.
It's been touted for years, but jet setters are still stuck in traffic waiting for a rail link to take off. However, the state government can't give a time frame for its feasibility study.
As soon as we possibly can, but I'm not going to put a date on it.
Canberra says it needs more than just an idea from Victoria before it can commit money.
They haven't made a submission or asked us for funding, and it's something that the state government haven't raised.
Melbourne Airport remains optimistic and has planned for it.
As the airport continues to grow over the years ahead, we see a rail link as being a vital part of our overall ground transport.
Commuters say they're sick and tired of coming to a standstill on the Tullamarine Freeway.
So it's very bad.
Compared to other airports, Sydney and Brisbane, much better. They've got 3 or 4 lanes of traffic coming in, where Melbourne's only got 2.
It's just horrendous. You can't get anywhere.
But change is on the way, with plans to ease congestion on the Tullamarine Freeway with an $80 million 6-lane road running from the Western Ring Road along Airport Drive and then to the airport.
Well, we recognise that a rail link is still several years away, so in the meantime we need to keep working on improving roads around the airport.
The Western Ring Road Airport Drive link would take at least 21 months to build, but by 2026 is expected to carry 25,000 vehicles a day. It's hoped the connection will be given the go-ahead and finished by 2014. Sean Sowerby, 10 News.